Hi guys, welcome back to Vlogmas day 7, 8? I don't know, I don't remember. But what I do know is that I want to talk to you guys about time tracking. It has been one of the things I've heard about within the productivity space and within the getting things done space. I've seen people like Matt Diavella recently make their videos about how time tracking has helped them, but I've always had trouble with keeping up with it because it just feels like a whole nother thing to do on top of the to-do list that we already have. And second, all of the apps or tools that I've tried have just been kind of clunky, and while they might track my time, they didn't give me any deeper insights that would actually help my productivity. That was until I heard about Rise. Now, Rise isn't sponsoring this video, but they did give me the opportunity to share with you guys a free lifetime subscription. So I have one of those to give away. I'll put a link beneath this video so that you can enter that giveaway. And if you don't win the lifetime free subscription, then I'll be able to give you 3 months with 25% off. But regardless, tracking my time with Rise has revealed 5 things to me that have completely changed my productivity and that I think are really going to help prepare me for going into 2024. The first thing that we can all learn from this is that a 40-hour work week is not actually 40 hours of work. For myself, I played basketball growing up, and right out of college, I started working with the Globetrotters. I started investing in real estate. I've never had a sit-down 9-to-5 job where I was required to be working for 8 hours a day or 40 hours a week. And so I didn't actually know how much time I spent working. And so when I decided to start tracking my time, I was like, let me aim for a 40-hour work week because that's what people work, right? And as you can see from this week that I tracked, I worked every single day, Monday through Sunday, and I worked 34 hours and 42 minutes. But what you'll see when you start time tracking your own work is that most people are not productive for 40 hours a week. And this is 34 hours of productive time where Rise was tracking me actually doing things like productivity, which for me means working in Notion, agency admin, which means working in Slack with my team for our YouTube agency, video conferencing, so meetings. This isn't including like any meal times or bathroom breaks or talking to coworkers because I'm here, I don't have any coworkers. And so aiming for a 40-hour work week, I think is just unrealistic, when in actuality, we have to figure out what's the amount of time that I need and want to be working and being as productive as possible during that time, and then let that talk for it, and then let that amount speak for itself. The second key takeaway is that I spend too much time in meetings. This is a view of the month of November. So you can see this was a week, and then I took the weekend off most of these days. And this week, life got crazy. I didn't do much work. But what you're also seeing is that the blue portions of these bar graphs are focus or deep work. That's where I'm doing something, again, like productivity, agency admin, etc. The pink/purple sections are meetings. And overall in this breakdown, you can see that I spent 54% of my time last month in deep work, 25% in meetings, and then 13% where I took a break between doing things. And 25% is just too high. And this is why I think tracking your time is so important, because if you had asked me how much time I spent in meetings, I probably would have said, oh, like 10, 15%. But realizing that I spent 25% has caused me to make some changes. One of those is that a lot of my meeting time is spent working one-on-one with my real estate investing students who are all working towards either their first deal, their 5th deal, their 10th deal, whatever it might be. I'll put some screenshots of some of their success stories up here. And while I love doing that, I also have to balance that time that I'm in meetings with doing things like making content and also running my business. And so what I decided was that for my mentorship students who are willing, we've started recording those meeting calls and using them as podcast episodes over on my second channel. I'll put a link in the description so you can check out. This way, I'm kind of killing 2 birds with one stone. I'm meeting with my students, but I'm also creating content. And now that's gone from being meeting time to actually being productivity time. And I wouldn't have even had that idea to make that change if I didn't realize just how much time I was spending in meetings. The other cool thing is that by the time December is over, I'll be able to compare and see, okay, 25% of my time was spent in meetings in November. Did I get that down in December? Third insight is interruptions. And I already know that I am interrupted by my phone all of the time. And that's why I usually have it on Do Not Disturb and face down while I'm working. Sometimes if I just really am feeling the pull of TikTok, then I'll go put my phone in another room. But what I didn't realize was that there are also a lot of interruptions that are just on our laptops as well. And so let me find it. Here it is. There's this view that gives you a 21-day look at your focus. And down here, it tells you your top interruptions. And these aren't from my phone, these are actually interruptions that are happening on my laptop. So you can see over the last 21 days, I've lost an hour and 40 minutes to checking email, meaning I'm focusing on one thing and then an email pops up and I switch to email real quick and I come back. Rise is tracking that as an interruption. Same thing with messages. And every now and then, one of my team members will ask to Zoom with me real quick to ask me a question. And that's fine. I'm not too worried about that interruption. But you can see that the top two, where I'm losing almost 2 hours over the last 3 weeks, has been in iMessage and email. And so what I've done is just turn off notifications for email on my computer. And I just have set time where I'm going to be answering email, so I'm not going back and forth. And then turning off iMessage altogether on my laptop. And once we know what the things are that are interrupting us, then we can take efforts to get rid of them. The fourth insight is another one from this screen, and that is, when are we actually most productive in the day? If I asked you if you were an early bird or a night owl, what would you say? I, before tracking my time, would have said that I am a night owl, that I kind of get this wave of energy at the end of the day, and I like to get work done, and I feel creative. That's why sometimes in my YouTube videos, I'll be filming, it'll be like 2 a.m. and there's like a train that goes by at night. And sometimes I'll have to stop because you're like hearing that train in the background. But I just think that I like to work at nighttime. But what I've discovered by tracking my time is we get this focus score, which tells you, just like how focused are you during the different times of the day. And I've experimented with getting up really early and starting work, and it turns out that that's when I'm actually the most focused. That's usually with me getting up around 5 a.m. Then I am right around 89 for most of the day, and then I have this huge drop at 3 p.m. I don't know why it's in military time, but we're gonna rock with it. But that's 3 p.m., right? Noon? Yeah, that's 3 p.m. I have this huge drop around 3 p.m. where my productivity just goes way down, afternoon lull. And then I do come back in the evening and find productivity at a high level again. So I'm kind of sandwiching the times where I am most focused and able to work the best. And so for this same week, I'll show you guys this other breakdown that you get of your weekly focus. You can see that now I've made a schedule where I'm working earlier in the day, I'm getting up and I'm getting the majority of my work done. And then if I do feel productive at night, I'm allowing myself to come back and do just a little bit extra during that time where I get my second wind. But there's really no reason for me to be working in the middle of the day when I'm not going to be as productive anyway. So, and that's the beauty of building a system where you can kind of work for yourself. You can find those times where you are most productive and put your work in then, and the times where you're not most productive, do something else. Go outside, go to the gym, watch TV, whatever it might be. But first, you got to know that information in order to plan around it. This next insight, I think, is going to be a complete game changer. I've often heard productivity coaches, business coaches talk about the difference between working in your business versus working on your business. And whatever it is for you, right? Whether you're working in your business as your 9 to 5 or as actually running the day-to-day of your business, you want to make sure that that doesn't take all of your time, because that's just keeping the business going. But when you're working on your business, if it's a side hustle or if it's getting new clients or if it's making your business better, those are the things that are actually growing your business. So if all of our time is taken by working in the business, then we don't have any time to work on the business. And I have these categories in Rise where productivity is me working on my business. Agency admin is usually working in my business. And you can see that during this week, I spent 21% of my time doing admin. And so what I realized was that I need to get that down, right? I need to equip my team to do most of the in the business stuff so that I can work on growing it. And I can switch over here to the following week and see that my agency admin time, even though my work time went from 34 hours to 25 hours, it didn't decrease by much, but my agency admin time went down to 9% from 21%. And that is the type of changes that I want to make based on tracking my time. I want to be able to see, oh no, I'm working in my business too much. Let me reallocate some of that time to working on my business. And those are the things that I think are going to help us grow. As you can tell, I really like Rise. They didn't pay me to make this video, I promise. I've been telling all of my friends and family about it, so I wanted to tell you guys as well. They did give me that free lifetime subscription to give away to one of you, and then the 25% off your first 3 months for everybody else. So hit the link in the description to enter that giveaway. I'll email you with the result. And let me know what you think you're going to discover when you start tracking your time. Thanks for watching.